Let's go. Welcome everyone to No One Daily Bitcoin Pod. Happy Sunday fun day. I'll be preaching the Holy Gospel of Satoshi for the next couple of hours. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as well as breaking news. Michael Saylor just announced that strategy. We'll buy more Bitcoin. That's right. According to the Saylor tracker, as well as Senator Lummis says buying 1 million Bitcoin and holding it for 20 years will halve the U.S. government debt. We'll also be discussing Bitcoiners were first to realize that the U.S. economic data was wrong, according to Pompliano. We'll also be discussing Trump exempt select tech products from tariffs. Will this benefit crypto? We'll also be discussing BlackRock CEO Larry Fink updates the macro outlook, says that mega trends are still underway amid the reorientation of the U.S. economy. We'll also be discussing the Bitcoin Standard author to develop Austrian economics curriculum in the U.K. schools. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. While Saylor accumulates an unparalleled and unchallenged Bitcoin position, MicroStrategy becomes the global reserve bank. Unless the US or some other country steps up, Saylor will essentially rule the world. And he's proposing for the US government to buy 1 to 5 million BTC, right in alignment with the Giga Chad, Michael Saylor. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this plus so much more in today's live stream. If you're new to the channel, very important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe. We're the #1 daily Bitcoin pod, hands down. Then ring the bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto newsletters every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. And to receive more Nipinator indicators, you can actually catch his tail right behind me. See if you can spot the nip like finding Waldo as a child. And if you can spot him, let us know. But anyways, today is August. I'm sorry, I can't believe I'm in August already. We're in April. It's April 13th, 2025, pod episode 1962. I'm your host, JV. Let's kick it off with the market watch as we do each and every day, broskies. As you can see on your screen, pretty little bitty, doing a little correction, but we're maintaining above 84,200 at the time of the live stream. Ether's maintaining above 1600. XRP up, actually not up, but down a little bit on the day, trading at $2.13 as the majority of the market is correcting and in the red. Like Fred the Raccoon, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Fred. And yeah, you know. But anyways, checking out the crypto market cap. Coin market cap, that is. We're currently with a 2.67 trillion market cap. The Bitty market cap is also 1.6 trillion. We got 75 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance, a little decline today at 62.7%. Ether dominance is at 7.3%, holding on for dear life. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. Helium, up 15%, Flare up 10%, XDC up 5%, and there's a crypto called Ohm Mantra that literally got wiped out 4 or 5 billion from the market cap. Let's see if it shows here. I'm not sure if it was a top 100. No, let's see if we can Google it, but I saw that in the news today. I think it's Ohm. Is that the one? Mantra. Yeah, check this out. It just crashed like billions of dollars. It's down 90% today. Look at that crash. So be careful with the shitcoinery, and I know you probably can't see this also great on your screen, but just trust me, it's down drastically. You literally just got wrecked. It's currently a 588 million market cap, and just the other day, or earlier today, it was billions. And also the max supply is infinity, no different than Ethereum and the US dollar. I mean, you can't make this ish up. And check it out, the crypto bubbles. We get a visual perspective on the daily. On the day here, you can see, unfortunately, 90% of the market wrecked, with ALM leading the pack, down billions of dollars in market cap, as I pointed out. For the weekly, fortunately, overall, we're in the green. And for the monthly, let's say 70-30, red over green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today we're 45 fear, yesterday 43, last week at 34, last month at 27 in fear. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. We're currently on block height number 892,259, and we have 157,741 blocks to the next halving at 2028. And you currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,184 sats. Pick up the stats, put down those gats, and pick up some Bitcoin gas from my man Sergio over at BitcoinGas.net. Past few days have been bullish, finally getting a little correction today. Headline here reads, Bitcoin price tags 86 as Trump's tariff relief boost breakout odds. And again, I'll pull up the live charts here shortly. Bitcoin hit an 11-day high April 13th as the crypto market relief rally closely tracked U.S. financial policy changes. And here's the 1-hour chart. And again, I'll be pulling up the live chart shortly. TradingView showed Bitcoin reaching 86 for the first time since April 2nd. That's right. Bitcoin reacted well to the news of Trump deciding to exclude certain key products from his ongoing trade tariffs against China, which we'll dive into deeper later. Traditional markets are closed on the weekends, as you know, creating lower liquidity trading for the crypto markets and raising the chance for price volatility, with the Bitcoin subsequently dropping under 84 G's, baby. Quoting analyst Roman, call me crazy, but I don't think I'll trust this breakout on the biddy. Low volume, overbought, stochastic, and on the weekend. If we can remain over 84 through Monday, I'll look for the higher, but for now, this seems a little sketchy. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Now, Dan Crypto Trades noted the ongoing interplay with the 200-day exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at 85. Quoting them here. This is, however, still a weekend move. So far, and we know the next week will be a volatile again with the news regarding the tariffs and the first big tech earnings coming up. That's right. And here you're looking at the 1-day chart with the 200 exponential moving average. Now, well-known trader Peter described the rebound from the lows as looking more corrective than it does for the impulse. Popular trader Rec Capital, meanwhile, said that Bitcoin has closed the daily above the downtrend. However, Bitcoin has previously daily closed above the downtrend, but failed its retest, which you can see here in the red circles on the chart. Retest needs to be successful, and it is in progress. So there you go. Meanwhile, the RSI bullish divergence is still in play, as Rec shares here. Overall, throughout the cycle, Bitcoin has formed the bullish divergences like this on a few occasions already. Each bullish divergence preceded reversals to the upside. So if history is to rhyme, expect an incoming pumpity pump, pump, pump it up. Now, also breaking news, Sailor posted the infamous Sailor tracker today. As you can see, there's no tariffs on the orange dots. So you can anticipate a massive Bitcoin buy, as last week, for the first time in like 12 weeks, they didn't announce a buy. So maybe he's going to make up for lost time, and there was a massive dip. So let's see. Maybe it'll be a multi-billion-dollar purchase for tomorrow. I'll keep you in the loop, obviously. And also, Senator Lummis says buying 1 million Bitcoin, which he proposes for the U.S. government, and holding it for 20 years will have the U.S. government debt, and I believe it's close to 37 trillion. So that's one of many ways to eliminate or reduce drastically the U.S. debt here. And with that being shared, let's pull up some of the live charts as I promised you guys, and then we'll continue with some of the headlines, some of the news, and all that good stuff. And again, welcome everyone joining us. Already over 700 people on today's live stream. I greatly appreciate y'all. So here we go. Yeah, let me pull up the charts here and switch the view for you guys. You should be able to see 10-minute chart via Coinbase, via TradingView. Not really much going on the 10 minutes. Let's work our way backwards, starting from the hourly. Hourly chart does show we are sending some. We do have a bull target sitting at 88, roughly a $5,000 or $4,500 pump from the current price action. We do have an orange bear scenario sitting at 73.5 on the hourly. Zooming out from there, we take a look at a 4-hour, broskies. And as you can see, we had we've been trading within this rectangle range. We do have a rising wedge, obviously occurring from the local bottom of 74, which was achieved a few days ago. It's been bullish since then, but we do have 2 bear scenarios on the 4-hour, one sitting at 76 and another one at 73.5. Zooming out from there, taking a look at a daily, and we do get a weekly close in probably about an hour and a half, which is cool. We'll pull up the weekly next. Here you can see a rising wedge formation sensation on the daily, followed by a falling wedge. Bull scenario in the red, which would take us back to price discovery, sitting just shy of 112,000. Bear scenario, just shy of 69,000. And super bear, sitting at 49 G's, baby. And zooming out from the daily, taking a look at a weekly. And again, roughly 90 minutes, we'll get the weekly close. And it is going to be a green weekly close, which is nice considering past couple of weeks were bearish closes, as you can see with the red candles. And also silver lining, we have a cup and handle, very bullish target sitting at 124 G's in play on the weekly. And zooming out from there, we'll take a look at a monthly as we're practically halfway through the month, just about. And as you can see, past couple of months have been corrective, but who knows, we may form a green candle if we can continue the bullish momentum. For the rest of April, you let me know where you feel the pretty little bitty will likely fare from here. Do you think we're going up soon, or going to retest those local lows of, what were we at, 74.5. Here's the latest from Mr. Pompliano. We'll get to Keiser. You guys hold your horses. We will get to the maxi. But yeah, Bitcoiners were first to realize that the U.S. economic data was wrong. You're dead wrong. That's right. Quoting Pompliano here. Bitcoiners were the first large-scale group to recognize the economic data was wrong, and they figured out a way to financially capture the upside if they were right. Now, there were two things we were pretty much right about. Number one, the financial system. Of course, we understand money, hence why we're Bitcoiners. We are also right. For the most part, Bitcoiners were right about Novid. We knew it was a scam from day one. You didn't fool us a bit, lizard folk. But he also says the unspoken secret as to why so many finance folks are wrong in their analysis of the tariffs is because the finance folks believe the government data. And if you believe the government data, you're a part of the problem. If they lied to you about 9/11, if they lied to you about Novid, if they lied to you about the US dollar, if they lied to you about Bitcoin, what makes you think they're not lying to you about every facet of our lives? Just wanted to throw that out there, broskies. Amid the widespread uncertainty and the ongoing fears over the U.S. President Trump's imposed tariffs, Pompliano questioned the accuracy of the U.S. inflation figures. Well, of course you got to question the bullshit. Job numbers and GDP statistics. He added that eventually everyone else will realize the data is inaccurate. Now, if you're a Bitcoiner, you're not surprised because we all understand the suits are professional liars. And it comes after Pompliano pointed out that in March 20th, LinkedIn post U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's appearance of the All-In Pod where he asked directly if he trusted the data, and straight up, he said, no. You got to be stupid. You got to be retarded to trust the official data from the lizard folk. I just want to throw that out there, but quoting him here. Even the Treasury Secretary has now publicly acknowledged he doesn't believe the data. He says we must listen to the people rather than blindly follow the government. It's just like the alcohol industry telling you drinking a beer a day is healthy for your heart, or trying to claim that drinking a glass of wine every day will only make your heart stronger. These are bullshit studies funded by the alcohol companies, just like the cigarette companies like to fund their own studies. You get the point. You know what I mean? Big Pharma likes to put out the bullshit to get you addicted to the drugs so the doctors can get you addicted, reduce your life expectancy, and get rich in the process. That's how the lizard folk roll. But you guys know this, you're Bitcoiners. Concerns about the reliability of the U.S. economic data have been brewing for a while. As reported, new approaches are needed to ensure government statistics remain dependable. Read inflation, 50% lower than... So if the government tells me inflation is under control at under 2%, I just say 10x it. 20%, just based upon how often they lie to us and how inaccurate everything they tell us often is. But that's just me. Meanwhile, analysts recently pointed out that while the stock market was tanking April 4th amid the tariff uncertainty, pre-Lil Bitty didn't decline as much as expected. So also Arthur Hayes just blazed, former BitMEX CEO, said Bitcoin is entering what he calls the up-only mode. I call it God mode. Super Saiyan. Bitcoin Super Saiyan mode, for lack of a better term. But you guys let me know your thoughts. And shout out Pompliano. Obviously, he knows a thing about a thing or two. Just the fact you don't trust the government, we're on the right track, broskies. I guess I'm in rant mode today, but let's discuss the Trump tariffs. Trump exempt select tech products from the tariffs. Interesting. Is this beneficial for the crypto? Well, let's find out. The Trumpster exempted an array of tech products, including smartphones, chips, computers. So I guess the things we need, right? Selected electronics from reciprocal tariffs, giving the tech industry a much needed respite from the trade pressure. According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, storage cards, modems, diodes, semiconductors, and other electronics were also excluded from the reciprocal trade tariffs. Large cap technology companies will ultimately come out ahead when this is all said and done, according to the BC letter. So I guess that's official right there. The tariff relief will take the pressure off the tech stocks, which were one of the biggest casualties of the trade war. Crypto markets are correlated with the tech stocks and could also rally as risk appetite increases on positive trade war headlines. Following the news of the tariff exemptions, the price of the pre-Lil Bitty broke just $86,000 this morning, a signal that the crypto markets are already responding to the latest macroeconomic development. President Trumpster, or POTUS, walked back the sweeping tariff policies April 9th by initiating initiating a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs and lowering tariff rates to 10% for countries that did not respond with the counter tariffs on the U.S. goods. Bitcoin, as a result, surged by 9%, and the S&P surged by 10% the same day Trump issued the tariff pause. Macroeconomic trader Raoul Pal said the tariff policies were a negotiation tool to establish a U.S.-China trade deal and characterized U.S. admin's trade rhetoric as posturing. Meanwhile, Max Keiser argued that exempting select tech products from import tariffs would not reduce bond yields or further the Trump admin's goal of lowering the interest rates. Now, all due respect to Max, we will be diving deeper into some of his more recent predictions regarding all of this, so stay tuned. Now, the yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury bond shot up to a local high of approximately 4.5% April 11th as bond investors reacted to the macroeconomic uncertainty of a protracted trade war. Quoting Keiser here, the concession just given to China for tech exports won't reverse the trend of rates going higher. Confidence in U.S. bonds and the U.S. dollar have been eroding for years and won't stop now. That's right, like a young ditty in the 90s. Won't stop, can't stop. Bad boy for life. And there you have it. If you don't know, now you know, broskies. Next story of the day, the latest from Larry Finkster, discussing the mega trends. Headline reads, BlackRock CEO updates macro outlook, says the mega trends, not MAGA, mega, still underway amid reorientation of the U.S. economy. That's right. The largest asset on this planet, asset management giant on this planet, BlackRock, says that despite the current market volatility and the uncertainty, the mega trends are driving the financial world and still intact. In a brand new interview on CNBC, Mr. Larry Fink says that the big trends like AI, data centers, and other cutting-edge tech plays are still valid. However, the Finkster said that some of those plays may be delayed or changed slightly due to the POTUS's tariffs and a likelihood of a recession. Quoting him here, I do believe that the mega trends are still with us, whether it's AI, data centers, infrastructure, the whole reorientation of our economy. So I think that the mega force trends are not going to change by what has happened. But maybe the execution of some of these trends may be delayed or may be pushed out longer. But I still remain to be optimistic over the long run. Yes, we have to recalibrate. And I do believe we are probably starting, or if not, in a recession. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. He goes on. Yes, I think the market is still underestimating how high inflation can get as you factor in all the tariffs, you factor in all these other issues. It is going to be quite additive. I read in a report that if you just take the tariffs and the cost of home building, the average new home could be up as much as 26%. True inflation. We already have a housing affordability problem. Yeah, of course, because the prices are insane. This is not a pandemic. This is not a financial crisis. This is something that we have created. The United States is post-World War II, was a global stabilizer. We are now the global stabilizer. If you don't know, now you know. And that's coming again from the CEO of the largest asset management company of the entire world that currently holds over 11 trillion worth of assets under management. Next story of the day. This is regarding in the UK. Some promising news. Bitcoin Standard author, that's Saifedean Ammous, to develop Austrian economics curriculum for the UK school. And you should be able to see here on your screen. And like I said, we'll dive into our feature story next. I know we're running a bit behind today because we had to create a secondary stream. But anyways, Lomond School, a private institution in Scotland, will begin accepting Bitcoin for tuition payments and is collaborating with Bitcoin author Saifedean Ammous to introduce a new curriculum based upon the Bitcoin and Austrian economics. How many of you have read the infamous Bitcoin Standard Classic, which he authored? Let me know. It's considered the Bible for Bitcoin. Is developing an educational curriculum combining the principles of Bitcoin and Austrian economics. Quoting him here, I'm going to be working with the Lomond School to develop a curriculum for the Bitcoin and Austrian. Notice it's not at a public school, aka a government school, but it's at a private school. It's a good start. I mean, the UK really needs this for our youngsters, for Christ's sake. Didn't they ban the Tates in their country? Lomond School principal Claire Chisholm confirmed the collaboration April 12, writing that she was thrilled to be working with Dr. Ammous and appreciative of the positivity of the Bitcoin community. The news comes a day after the Lomond School announced it would accept Bitcoin for tuition payments. Smart. Starting for the autumn semester of 2025, becoming the first school in the United Kingdom to adopt Bitcoin payments. Now, we all know the Bitcoin Standard was the first big Bitcoin book published in 2018. Obviously, there were books that come before that, but this is, a classic one. I dare say everyone here has read it. Am I right or am I wrong? The book outlines the economic philosophy behind Bitcoin and contrasted with the fiat currency systems. It has sold more than 1 million copies and has been translated into 38 languages. That's pretty lit. Now, educational institutions around the world have increasingly embraced Bitcoin as both subject of economic study and a financial tool. New York University Stern School of Business launched the Law and Business of Bitcoin and Other Cryptos course all the way back in 2014, one of the first Bitcoin-specific courses offered in the United States. Also, Stanford University launched its Bitcoin and Cryptos course in 2015, focused on the technological and economic aspects of the Bitty. And then in February of this year, the University of Austin, Texas, announced launching the first of its kind Bitcoin investment fund of over $5 million as part of the institution's larger $200 million endowment fund. And if you don't know, now you know. 3 months before the University of Austin's announcement, a regulatory filing revealed Emory University accumulated over 15 million worth of Bitcoin via the Grayscale Spot Bitcoin ETF. So there you have it. Schools, even academia, is coming around. They want the pretty little bitty. They love what Bukele is doing with the school system, introducing the curriculum in El Salvador, Bitcoin country. We either educate our youth or we get left behind. Do we want to keep them the slave working race? Like currently, you go to school for freaking 20 years, you get an education that becomes practically worthless because now there's AI, and you go in more stupid than when you went in because now you're conditioned and brainwashed to just respect authority and not question anything. Good question, right? Question everything. I teach my little one, question everything. 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 Let me tell you something. All right, fam. Now for our feature story of the day, the latest from Max Keiser, the high priest of Bitcoin. He says, now that Trump's tariff tantrum has proven a bust, it is time he plays the only card he has against China and Russia, which is for the U.S. to buy 1 to 5 million Bitcoin and dominate the internet of money. The window of opportunity is very short. So we have a very short window to take advantage of this or forever get left behind. And you can see here's the official tweet from Max. It already got over 1,600 likes and 159 reposts. I couldn't agree more. And this is right in alignment with what Michael Saylor was proposing for Trump at the recent Crypto White House Summit. He was proposing for Trump and the U.S. to purchase up to 5 million Bitcoin, which would theoretically be around 25% of the total supply. 5 million Bitcoin so that the U.S. can maintain its dominance, because he's ultimately saying there's only enough room for one superpower, one big country of the world to claim pole position, being a leader, hodler of Bitcoin, because there's only so much Bitcoin to go around. So, for example, if the U.S. was to actually do this and maintain their dominance as the superpower of the world, Russia won't be able to do it. China won't be able to do it. But if they don't take that first mover's advantage and do something quick with our strategic Bitcoin reserve, we may get left behind to the likes of China and Russia, who are allegedly working on a gold-backed stablecoin, according to Max Keiser. And we broke that down last week in the podcast. He also recently tweeted and reminds us that everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. So while Saylor accumulates an unparalleled and unchallenged Bitcoin position, MicroStrategy, now known as Strategy B, becomes the global reserve bank. Unless the U.S. or some other country steps up, Michael Saylor will essentially rule the world. It's going up forever, Laura. And if you don't know, now you know. And there was another headline recently with Max suggesting U.S. buy up to 1 million or up to now 5 million, 1 to 5 million Bitcoin for us in order to maintain our dominance, and I'll dive into that. But first, I also want to point out a recent tweet from Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki. He says, please listen to gold, silver, and Bitcoin. What are they telling you? Gold is at an all-time high. Demand for silver is exploding, and the pretty little bitty is roaring. Are you listening? Repeating myself, I warned of the biggest stock and bond market crash in history was coming in my previous books. Rich Dad's Prophecy, Who Stole My Pension, Fake, etc. The giant crash has arrived. The corrupt and crooked U.S. dollar is being wiped out. Savers of stocks, bonds, ETFs, and mutual funds are being wiped out. Their wealth stolen by a sinister global banking cartel known as the central banks, led by the Bank of the International Settlements, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, and the U.S. is known as the Fed. Aren't you fed up? I like that play on words. Please take care. It's not too late. Those who take action and acquire real gold, which means not derivatives or paper gold like Peter Schiff's stacks. Silver and Bitcoin may come out of this premeditated disaster. The new rich and the new leaders of the world. What are you going to do? Go back to college, eat another degree, get deeper in debt with more student loans, and learn nothing about money, much less learn nothing about the real world of money. I love that rant there. Shout out to Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki. Let's also actually visit Keiser's X feed. And if you're not following Max and Stacy on X, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I also strongly encourage you to visit Max and Stacy Golf. Of course, Toxic Max Keiser for the classics, and of course, the infamous Huddle House Studio, and the new account, Coco Max Country, the official drink that made El Salvador famous. And if you don't know, now you know. I've actually sipped on a couple of Coco Maxes, and they are my favorite drink when I'm out in Bitcoin country. Can't wait to revisit again. Perfect conditions for the Bitcoin. Quoting Ray Dalio, he says, I am worried about something worse than a recession. We have something that is much more profound. We have a breaking down of the monetary order, the collapse of the US dollar. Preach. Now, Stacy points out regarding that coin that just crashed 90%, shedding $4.5 billion in market cap. She wrote, this was number one RWA chain by market cap. The devs just rugged from $6.5 billion financial market cap to $1.2 billion in an instant. And now I think it's $500 million, zero next. DeFi and RWA are built to rug just as NFTs and ICOs before them. There are some looking to be digital asset country. Good luck to the shitcoinery there. And again, thanks to Max for reposting today's stream. I love seeing crypto news alerts on Max's timeline. And a reminder, there is no second best. That's right. Bitcoin passes every weapons test, as you already know. And again, here's some more. This was recently published. Max Keiser suggests the U.S. should invest over 1 million Bitcoin to maintain the global dominance. That's right. His recommendation comes amid the growing concerns of China challenging the U.S. hegemony, much like how the Japanese manufacturing did in the 80s. Keiser believes that by adopting the BIDI, the U.S. can secure its position of the Internet of Money. Now, historically, economic dominance has shifted over the decades, with the U.S. regaining prominence in the 90s through the emergence of the internet giants. Now, Keiser's proposal underscores the strategic importance of crypto investments in the current geopolitical landscape. Quoting Max here, 1980s, Japan threatens U.S. hegemony with manufacturing dominance. This ended when internet titans recaptured the high ground in the 90s. Today, China threatens to topple the U.S. dominance. The solution, easy. It's for the U.S. to buy 1 million plus of the Bitcoin. Why not purchase 5 million and go all in, like the GigaChat proposes, and dominate the internet of money? And if you don't know, now you know. Let me know you agree, disagree with the high priest, Max Keiser. And shout out Max, and shout out Stacy. Shout out Bitcoin Country. Shout out Bukele. Reminder, tomorrow, Bitcoin Country President Bukele meets in the U.S. with the Trumpster, so you already know it's going down. And if you don't know, now you know. And welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. We're going to premiere 2 brand new songs from Chandy here shortly. If you're ready, let me know if you're ready. Mom Spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface, Nippy looks calm and ready to drop bombs, and keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words don't come out. He's choking. How? Time's up. Over. Blow. Snap back to reality. Up. There goes Nippinator indicator. JB, what do you think of the taking the Trump so long to buy the million of the Bitcoin? Politics. I think we knew this from the start, that the state level would adopt Bitcoin prior to the nation state level, because it has to pass the Senate, it has to pass the Congress. And my understanding is he already established a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the digital asset stockpile, and he already signed the executive order. But in order for it to all pass, it still needs to get the nod from, my understanding is, Congress. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what we're waiting on. In a perfect world, he signed the executive order, buy the motherfucking Bitcoin. Buy all the Bitcoin available on the exchanges. Go directly to the miners and buy it over the counter. Whatever you got to do, Trumpster. Get your hands on the pretty little bitty. It's a matter of national security. Don't let the GigaChad be more powerful than the United States of America. Don't let North Korea, South Korea be more powerful. Don't let China and Russia be more powerful than the United States of America. Unless it's all by design, which it may be, as we continue to get played on the world stage. It's all a stage. It's all a game.